Welcome to another breakthrough day, September 27th, 2018. I'm Chris McCleary with your daily surf report, and yesterday's DreamBot accurately predicted the end of a streak. It was, for me, it accurately predicted the bear of a week early in the week, and then accurately predicted the end of that streak. And for those of you who don't remember, this was yesterday, right up here, streak ending. See? That's the dreams. Let's look at today's dreams. And the reason why we look at the dreams is because the collective mind tells us what people are infatuated with. And that's important because where the mind is, behaviors follow. That's the energy. And in the red arrows, we have searching, watch, represent, query, pointer, browse, vision, guide, lights, pick. So I'm looking at this as awareness. You're in search of something or you're seeing something, okay? And this has everything to do with what we're going to talk about in the astrology. But look at the blue arrows. Ask, manage, competition, mad. If there was a planet that exudes those qualities, I would guess something like Mars. And so basically the influence from the DreamBot is there's like a competition kind of flavor, and there's a awareness kind of feel. All right, here we go. Bingo. Oops. We got to get rid of that. We have the moon in a trine to Mars, and that is all self-confidence. It's a very positive type of influence. Enthusiasm, courage, courageousness, and tackle difficult tasks. There's a lot of competition in there too, just as the DreamBot suggested. Then we also have an interesting thing happening with the moon. Initially, when you wake up, it's kind of flurrying past Uranus, kicking up all sorts of change, potentially. And this is very early on. This is, as I'm doing this, it's conjunct with Uranus. I have the astrological chart depicted a little bit later in the day when it trines Saturn. So first, when you wake up, things might feel a little bit very subtly different, and not to the point where you're really worried about it or anything. It's just kind of like, did something change? Something a little bit different? You can't quite put a finger on it. That, if you're feeling that, that's just the Uranus going through the moon passing Uranus. And then almost immediately after that, the sun enters a trine, which is another positive aspect with Saturn. And this is where you have stronger instincts, you have good common sense, and those old obstacles that you were posed before, keeping you away from the life that you want, are now able to be crossed because Saturn gives you those insights to those vexing problems. The number of 27 is the taskmaster that is able to see the big picture. It is kind of more complex than this, but I'm just kind of pulling out the same type of energies that we're seeing across the board. So it's about seeing the insights about what was keeping you from the life that you wanted. And then with the Mars aspect and Sun, so two kind of real fiery signs, giving you the energy to cross those hurdles and giving you the motivation to do so. So what's really important here is to learn how to surf these energies, and I'm going to do that right after this. All right, so the first thing is this subtle change with Uranus. No big deal there, I don't think. The moon is going into Taurus, so it's going to energy is going to start to slow down. It's going to start to feel more real. You might be seeking more of your five senses, or things that appeal to your five senses. in this practical world. As the moon passes Uranus, then it enters into that trine with Saturn. And this is where probably the most important thing for you to gather today is the insight. The insight about what is keeping you back from the life you want. So let's do a quick exercise. And this is going to give you kind of an insight and the mind, to cage the mind about what kind of insights you're expecting today, or you want to come in. So work with me here, and this is for you, so no comical answers. Like, so when I say, what do you want out of life? I don't want to hear, well, I want $10 million, ha ha ha. Something that's realistic, something that you see in your life that's not too material, that is more has to do with the contentment inside. What do you want out of life? What do you want your life to look like in the next year, 3 years, 5 years? Now, visualize that for a second. I'm kind of pausing for you to do that. What do you want it to look like? What are you doing? What is your work? What types of people are you with? What is your emotion in those situations? And then, what right now is keeping you? What is the biggest hurdle keeping you from starting to achieve that? Or maybe a list of different, maybe 4 or 5 different things, those things that are keeping you from living the life that you want. Now, then there's a solution on how to cross those hurdles. And that is the insight that hopefully you'll be getting today as you go about your business. Now, so how do you get that insight? One of the things that we do as humans that is so erroneous is to try to chug out a solution. And this is called convergent thinking. We're thinking that there's one answer out there, and as long as we can find it and pull it to us, it's bring me the solution. That's convergent thinking, and that's not a creative position in the brain. The brain is much more creative in what's called divergent thinking, and to get into divergent thinking, you have to actually do the opposite. You have to allow, relax the mind, slow down the thinking, and just let the mind just kind of wander into the different areas of awareness. And then hopefully, but you can't try. As soon as you try something, then you're back into convergent thinking. So without trying, you're just allowing different ideas to float around. And then one idea catches your eye, maybe your third eye, and you look over, oh my gosh, there's the solution. So that's kind of the concept here. And you might be waiting days, months, but you have to cage, the whole point here is that you have to cage your awareness to the desired intent. I want a solution to this hurdle. I want to know how to cross this hurdle. I want to know how to cross this hurdle. That's how you're visualizing your life as you go about this day, if you eventually want that solution. So you're just, mind is focused on solution, but the rest of it's just letting the solution float around. If it wants to show up in your awareness, then it will. So anyway, that's called divergent thinking. That's from the creative forces and creative studies in psychology on how to get groundbreaking creativity, is going into that divergent thinking. Then you have to have the motivation to jump over that hurdle, just like this gal's doing. Nothing can stop you when you've got Sun, Trine, Mars. Holy cow. A lot of yang, a lot of motivation, a lot of competition. That's what Mars is. A lot of get up and fight. Okay? And not in a bad way. Not all fighting is bad. We tend to get into this good-bad argument. Oh, Mars is bad. No, we need the motivation. It's a motivation. Competition is not always bad. We have a substance abuse facility that shut down here in the local area, and it had a monopoly basically in this area. So Now, in its ashes, we're looking at possibly having multiple substance abuse centers, and that's actually going to be good because competition across the board in a local area is going to make sure that we give good quality to the clients. So lack of competition is not always good. Presence of competition is not always good, but in some cases it's very good. So, and that's similar here. You're going to find, hopefully, that the energy of competition today is going to be very beneficial for your motivation, especially once you get that insight. I hope I wasn't too long-winded. Enjoy this day. Enjoy that energy. Watch yourself getting too bent out of shape if you can't get that insight. Okay? And really purposefully just relax, kind of give up on your hopes and dreams of finding the solution, but keep focused on not wanting that solution, but just the intent. Keep the intent in the forefront of your mind that I intend to have a solution. I intend to have a solution for this problem. I intend to have a solution. And then as you least expect it, when your mind's not really focused on it, the solution appears. I hope that happens for you. And if so, write me, comment, and be sure to subscribe if you like this concept of finding and surfing the collective influences. For me, if nobody else likes this, I'm doing it for me because it's very helpful throughout the day to kind of cage my mind, know ahead of time how I'm going to surf this energy when I see it. And, you know, it doesn't happen every day, but I'm generally seeing these surf energies pretty much every day. It's pretty incredible to me. But hopefully you're getting something out of it too. And have a wonderful day hopping over these hurdles. Thanks, everybody.